woman told me when she was a child that her father wanted her mom to get up and fix him breakfast. She was in bed, lying down, and when she responded, she didn't feel well. The father criticized her, probably called her lazy or whatever, and demanded she get up anyway. She did. Being obedient wife, she got up and she fixed him breakfast and served him breakfast. This story really affects me in a way because it seems in some way kind of cruel. And I just really wanted to talk to men a little bit about being like that, or being that guy. You didn't leave your mother as a dependent to marry a woman and become her dependent. You are a grown man, and many men marry women or get in relationships with women, and they become a dependent all over again. She has to do everything for you. Mind you, if you were single and on your own, a lot of this stuff you would do yourself. And that's not to say that your wife should not help you. That is what she was created for, a helpmeet. That's what the Bible says. We were created to help as women. But to help is one thing. To go into servitude is another. And I say that because had the husband had compassion on the wife when she said she didn't feel well, he would have either fixed his own breakfast or went to see maybe what was the problem. And maybe he could have gotten her out of the house into the hospital before she died. But he didn't care to see what was going on with her, why she didn't feel well. That attitude is your mentality. You think because she's your wife that she has to do whatever you ask her to do whenever you ask her to do it, in spite of what's going on with her. And the truth is, she is a human being. Human beings have moments where they're weak. They have moments where, they cannot perform. Everybody has those moments, including men. And when they have those moments, women are expected to run to their aid, to assist them in however we can, to nurture them back to health, or whatever the case may be. But when you have a woman, and I know there's a demand on women in society to perform, to be the mom, to be the housewife, to be in the secular world working. And we balance all of that stuff. Many women balance all of that stuff. They do it all. But it's not an easy task. And it can overtax you. It can overwhelm you. It can drain you. Just picture a woman being a full pitcher. That's how we come in this world. As women, we're full. We're full of life. We're full of nurturing. We're full of help, because God created us to do that. So we have a lot to give out because He put a lot in us. So we're this full pitcher. But through the course of life, that pitcher can become empty. That resource can be depleted. Just picture this pitcher of water. I have a glass here that is household chores and cooking and cleaning. Now, I take this big pitcher that's full and I start pouring into these glasses one at a time. I'm doing the household chores. That's a little water gone. I'm working a job. That's a little water gone. Tending to the children. Some more water gone. And as this pitcher that was full is now being emptied out, emptied out, emptied out, emptied out, it's getting low. It's being depleted. If the woman has God in her life, she can go to that cup and be poured back into. If she doesn't have God in her life, she doesn't have that resource. But if there's a man in her life, she's in a relationship, that is the only other resource where she can be poured into. But if he chooses not to do that, then she's just left empty. And many men don't understand that they are to pour back into their woman's life. That helps sustain her when she's constantly giving out, pouring out. She has to be given some type of resource to keep functioning like that, or she'll be depleted. And the next thing you know, she has nothing else to give. And she's drained. And to add to that, women also go through the issue of menopause, which is their bodies completely changing. That alone affects a woman in a mental way and in a physical way that is really demanding. But many men don't care to try to even understand what's going on with a woman when that happens. There's more being taken out of her. Instead, they go find them somebody young, as if that young person is ageless and never going to get older. Because if the younger woman keeps living, she's going to reach that point too, eventually. But instead of the man pouring back into the woman, now she's useless. So she's dismissed. And that is a evil that I believe a lot of men don't even know that they're doing, simply because they've been taught, the woman does everything. She cooks, she cleans, she does my laundry, which is fine, but you have to keep in mind, she's a person. She's not a robot. Many women, when you see them dying of bitterness and cold and callous hearts, many of them have encountered being drained, being poured out, being depleted, and no one caring enough to pour back into her. So they die bitter and angry and hurt. If you were single, you would clean for yourself, you would cook for yourself, and you would do for yourself as a grown adult man. So if the household chores causes for you to help out, why can't you? You're not a dependent. King Solomon was a king, and he was made king when he was 12 years old. Now this man has the rulership of the kingdom, but he's a child. Many men want to be treated like a king, but in their hearts and in their minds, they're still acting like children. Just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully it helps someone to open their eyes and to see that's how you cherish. You make sure that you take care of. Talk to you next time.